Today we have an important topic, and that is all about how to have a full-time salary as a health coach and leave that 9-to-5 job. I know a lot of you, we've had lots of conversations with health coaches, and they love this idea of quitting their job. And when they talk to me about their job, they're talking to me about sometimes their soul-sucking job. Just give me a hands up if you can relate to that. But they can feel that their purpose is living as a health coach, but they're not sure how to actually create the income to sustain that. So we all want to live a life that is full of passion, right? And to have an impact on others' lives, and especially as a health coach. And what I love about working with health coaches is that every single health coach, 100%, wants to genuinely grow their business so they can have an impact on others. So as you grow your business, you're not only going to be earning a full-time income and every year probably gaining a little bit more, but you're also going to be changing the lives of so many people. And there is absolutely that ripple effect. So think about, like, how can you inspire and help others to live the life that you've always imagined. So if we haven't met yet, I am your host. I am Lori Kampa. I am a working health coach, and I also train coaches to have a profitable wellness business, doing the work that we just absolutely love, right? So many health coaches have asked me, what are the steps that you need to take to earn a full-time income? And to have that freedom to really feel that they can step into their purpose and make a difference in other people's lives, right? So it's kind of twofold here. And I want you to stick around for this entire training, because I'm going to tell you how to create an effective business model so that you can find clients and gain credibility. So when you can gain clients and you have that credibility, you're going to be able to kickstart being your own boss with that full-time salary as a health coach and leave that 9-to-5, that day job. So again, come with this without any distractions so you can be fully present. So shut your door, turn off your notifications, grab a notebook, because there's going to be some numbers and there's going to be ideas and things that you are definitely going to want to write down. And then as soon as you're done listening to this, to put into practice. So I'll share what I've learned since 2015 when I started my health coaching business, and some of the practices that I put into place. And a lot of this will save you time and save you some headaches, many headaches experienced along the way. So this training has a sponsor, and because I'm the host, I get to pick the sponsor. So today's sponsor is brought to you by my online course. It's called Workshops Done Academy, and Workshops Done Academy is the most comprehensive program for growing your wellness business with workshops. So you can create that life and the business that you want. And it is a step-by-step results-focused program, and it shows you exactly step-by-step how to build a profitable business, a stellar business, really, with wellness workshops. And it also shows you how to get fully booked with clients, so how to convert them and hit your income goals as a full-time coach. So because we have so much to cover, I'm just going to dig right on in. Now, if you're here on Facebook, if you're here on Zoom, wherever you're listening, come into the comments and give me a big fat yes. If you're like, yeah, that's me. I want to make a full-time income. I want to lead a life of passion, helping others to heal as a health coach, right? We're all saying yes, right? It's yes. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of yeses. We're living the dream. And I think I'm so honored that I know that this is my purpose, is to help other people heal. And accidentally, I started to help health coaches. And I see now that the more I empower you to be a full-time coach and to earn that income that you need and to have that impact, the more we're going to heal. So some of you here may have that 9-to-5 or that other type of job and wonder, am I ever going to be able to build my health coaching business to a point where I can actually quit my day job? Yes, you can. It does take work and it takes focus, and I'm going to tell you those steps here. So I hear what people are saying, that I want to earn the money and I want to have the flexibility to do this job, and I want to leave my day job. So Coaches are not asking me like how to be a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire. I wouldn't even know how to do that. But they're asking me, like, can I just replace my salary? Like most people are asking, I just need to make at least $5,000 a month, about $60,000 a year as like that base salary. So that's definitely achievable. And we're going to be talking about that today. But I think you all know, when you own your own business, the sky is truly the limit. But today we're going to be talking about what to do when you're first starting out as a health coach. So if you're already in school, or like Sally and Shanta that's here with me today, just starting out, you're in the perfect place right now. So first of all, I think you all know that health coaching careers are very flexible, but they're also individual. So one career path of a coach may look very different from somebody else, right? And that means that their salaries are going to have a different impact. So if you want to go the entrepreneurial route and create a business that way, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to talk about the formula that I do. And I accidentally started this when I first started health coaching, and I'm still doing it today because it works and I love teaching health coaches about it. And I love the exciting news that health coaching is an industry that continues to grow. I hear when you're just out and about with people that are not in this industry, they actually understand what a health coach actually is, right? And there is more of an acceptance about our profession. So it's just exciting news all around. So the first thing is we need to be laser focused on the long-term success of our health coaching business, meaning that we're building from the ground up, right? So when I first started, I had 0 people on my list. Okay, I had a couple cousins that I asked to put on my mailing list. I didn't even have, an email service provider. I didn't have a website. I didn't do anything. But what I did is I thought big picture. I knew I was going to be a health coach a year from now, 5 years from now, that this is what I'm doing no matter what. And so when we have that type of mindset, we are going to treat our business differently. Failure, mistakes happen, right? Just with our coaching clients, I expect every single one of my health coaching clients and every single one of my business clients to slip. It is absolutely normal. We are not perfect beings, and we are going to slip. We're going to make mistakes. And that's when I see the greatest transformation. But that's the time also that when somebody, goes and eats a dozen donuts, that doesn't mean that they quit and they have to eat junk food for the rest of the week, right? That means it's a learning opportunity to say, how does your body feel? It's the same way with business. It doesn't mean that if you have a week that you make no money at all, that you just give up. So think about that long-term success, never doubting that you're going to be a success. When I first started, I knew I was here because I knew that I had this purpose. In 2012, I was in an awful bicycle accident where I flew up and I hit my head on the pavement. Luckily, I had a helmet on, but I sustained a traumatic brain injury and I was not able to work for years. I was on disability, headaches, anxiety, depression every day, and my life was just unlike I've ever known. It was awful. And it wasn't until the medical industry said, we can't do anything for you. You're going to have to accept this, that I worked with a health coach. And when I changed up my diet, when I changed up my stress levels with meditation and yoga and essential oils and really creating this different life, that's when healing happened. And I knew that I could not go back to my old career. I was in hospitality management, event planning for 25 years, doing a lot of expos, being a public speaker, doing a lot of proposals and plans. But I knew that I needed to go back to school. So I went to the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. So a lot of you have the same similar story, that something happened to you and you know that this is your path. So just know that, yes, you're going to have a harder first year. You're just starting out and we need to have compassion for ourselves, right? The universe has our back and we are going to deal with setbacks in our businesses. But in the long run, we need to think about the quality of our lives and the quality of our business. And it depends on how we structure, where we focus our business, right? So the model is going to be where we put our focus, where we put our intention every single day. So often I see health coaches are so loving and so patient and compassionate towards their clients, but they're not always that way for themselves. And I'm the same way, that I'm constantly working on more compassion for myself. And when we make a few changes and they are not successful changes, that does not mean we quit, right? We're going to just go back to where we're focusing on, because otherwise we go into the state of overwhelm and doubt, and we stay stuck when something goes wrong, and we just keep there. And I know every health coach has talked to me about this, and I've been there too. We don't need to stay there, and it doesn't need to be that hard. But if we have that mindset, it's going to be harder, right? So if we continue with that same mindset and the same pattern, we're going to end up with the same results, right? So we need to do something different, and knowing that anything is possible. So don't ever stop. Not you, not today. Your future clients are waiting. It'd be really selfish if you didn't do this job, right? So if you're multitasking, I need you to hear this next statement. And this is kind of harsh, but remember, you are the boss. You don't have to be a health coach. You get to do this. You have this purpose. This is your honor to do this. If you don't go forward with this, you are being selfish to your future clients. So focus on how you are talking to yourself, that you get to do this job. Shift your mindset into confidence, into motivation, into excitement instead. See yourself as this action-oriented health coach. You are successful and you are making an impact on others' lives. It's important to check in daily. So just have clear priorities every single day. Think about what's the one next best move, right? Just what's the one thing? Because otherwise we have procrastination when it's so big and overwhelming. We have to overcome these negative beliefs. Just one thing. So if you're working another job right now, you absolutely have to, it's a must, prioritize your time. So go to your calendar, you need to schedule your hours. So for you, it might be 1 hour a day, maybe it's 1 hour a week. So, but it needs to be scheduled so you don't get tempted to do something else. And every time you say yes to something else, it means you're saying probably no to your business, right? You are the only one responsible for creating this life and this business that you love. So this time that you set aside is only going to be focused on work. So you turn your notifications off, the kids are not coming in. This is when you are working on what's going to move the needle. What, right? We're not just going to be doing the little things, really focused intention. So again, that number one focus is to have that laser focus, to think about your long-term success of your business, building from the ground up. So we need to think big, knowing that all failures, all mistakes are absolutely necessary for us to learn and to grow. So number two is, what do you focus on, right? So we need to focus on writing down our annual monthly goals and where we want to put our intention. So I'm going to talk about the 3 different kind of like departments that I have in my health coaching business that helps me to be a success. And I don't think of them as 3 different silos. I think of them as a circle, and one feeds into the other. And if I didn't have one, there would be a missing piece. So this is my trifecta, my thing. So I love the quote by Yogi Berra. He says, if you don't know where you're going, you may end up someplace else, right? You're not going to get in your car and just know that where you're going is northwest and just keep heading northwest. You really need to have a map, a roadmap, to figure out where exactly step by step you need to go to get there. So this is your time to take control of your future. This is your time to design what you want. So think about your business and your life. And if you're watching this on the replay, just pause it and just imagine your life 1 month from now, 2 months from now, 3, 6 months from now, having clients, giving workshops, right? So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the different departments. So the first department is the one-on-one coaching. Most of us when we come in to be a health coach, that's what we envision, is that one-on-one coaching. And this may evolve. Actually, I would say it probably will evolve to be a little bit different as you grow and as you meet with new people. But I need you to think about, who is your ideal client? Like if I just had this magic wand and I would say, okay, I'm going to have this wand and you are going to have your perfect client to coach. What type of problems would they have? Could you help them solve their problems? That is your ideal client, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about your clients, how to find them, how to find the people that actually speak your language. And stay tuned, because then I'm going to be talking about how to find these people, right? So first we need to choose an area, a specific area that you're passionate about. A lot of times this is the old you. This might be you 10 years ago, right? But this will allow you to target clients who are seeking your support in your area of expertise and in your niche. So these types of clients, they're going to serve you and they're going to have a direct impact on your coaching rate and your overall income. So first you have to think about who you're passionate about and then how to price it out. So this is my own personal example, but for the rates of a health coach who helps high-powered female entrepreneurs manage their stress, will look very different than someone who is working with females with disabilities that are unable to work, right? When I first started as a health coach, I was working with people who had disabilities, who weren't able to work, because that's where I was, and I was coming out of that. And I still do that a little bit, but I did have to work with a lot of payment plans. Absolutely doable, so fulfilling. But then as I grew as a person, I realized who I really love to help are these entrepreneurs who are burning the candle at both ends, and they need to learn about self-care and feeding themselves good food, right? So think about, who is your person right now. It may change, it may be the exact same, but the rates for a health coach may be different depending on who your market is and also where you live. But you need to, again, if you're multitasking, come back. This is so important. You need to learn by doing. Absolutely. And I know a lot of you are thinking right now, but I don't know how to health coach. I went to the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. I came out with that same exact feeling. I was still in school and I was going to a lot of classes at my health food store as well. They had a lot of educational classes and I made friends with people who were going there. And one of the people that I met, she asked if I would health coach her. And I'm still in school. I freaked out. I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know. I don't think I'm ready. And then I said, yes. I just decided to dive in. And she was rate conscious and I was scared to death. And so I gave my first client 80% off. Do not coach anybody for free, okay? Do not coach anyone for free. Even if they're just paying you $25 a session, they need to have some skin in the game to take it serious. There needs to be some kind of exchange. So you're not going to be more ready to coach a month from now, okay? You're not going to be more ready to coach 2 months from now. How you're going to be more ready to coach is by coaching. With clients, you're going to gain those skills to do better and better and understand what type of clients that you want to take as well. So let's talk about how many clients you need and what type of money that you can make. So again, this is just one of 3 departments for where you're going to be making money. So my suggestion when I'm working with a health coach is for them to focus on 2 new clients a month. And so a lot of health coaches, they start their health coaching packages at $1,000. So if that is you, then if you have 2 new clients every month, you'd be bringing in $2,000 a month from just your individual health coaching. So in month 1, maybe you just have 2 clients and that's all you have. And then month 2, you would have 4 clients, the 2 from before, and then 2 new ones. 3rd month, you would have 6. 4th month, you would have 8, and then all the way to the 6th month where you would cap at 12 total clients. And then at that point, 2 clients would move out, 2 clients would move in. Now, it sounds like it's going to work out perfectly that way, but for me, I realized that I have some clients that I only wanted to take for 4 sessions and some 8 sessions, and then some would be the 12 sessions for 6 months. So it doesn't always work perfectly that you're 2 moving in, 2 moving out, but you kind of work around that frame. So when you're first starting out and you have that lower package, if you do 2 clients a month, that would be about $24,000 for a 12-month time period, right? So just think about, instead of, okay, I got to fill my practice, that's overwhelming, that's stressful, I just need to get 2 new clients, and we're going to talk about how to get those as well. So you now know what you need to do. You need to set out in advance to get those 2 new clients every single month. And most people, when they first start, you will get like 3, 4, 5 new clients right when you start, because you're putting that energy out and you have a long list of what to do. So, but you will do everything that you know to make this happen, right? You just need to know what to do. So write down 10 people that may be interested in your coaching program. And I want you to reach out to them today or tomorrow, but for sure by the end of the week, okay? Tell them who you work with, who are your ideal clients, and then ask them if they know anyone that's interested. So do you see, you're not doing a sales pressure here. You're not saying, will you sign up? Do you want a free session with me? And then it's awkward because you know them. You're saying, who do you know that would be interested in working with me? Or something about asking them who they know at their church, who do they know at their work that might want to have a free breakthrough health coaching with you so you can practice, something like that. A lot of times they're going to come back and be like, yeah, that's me. Yes, pick me. I want to work with you, right? So we kind of feel like we're talking about our business all the time, but a lot of times people really don't know what you're doing. And so they need to be touched maybe like 7 different times to hear, I'm a health coach. I work with, high-powered female entrepreneurs, different things like that, so they can hear it over and over again. So again, when you start out, you might be just doing about $2,000 a month. But for me, my 12-session program is $1,500. And if you're living, and I live in Minnesota where we are more on the lower scale, but if you are on the higher scale, you might even go higher than that. But so then that would be $3,000 a month for just 2 new clients. So if you, for a year, just always thinking 2 new clients, that's about $36,000 for just the health coaching, with just adding 2 on. Now for me, I've really felt what feels nice to me emotionally on taking on new clients. So I don't take on everyone that wants to work with me. When I first started, I took everyone, and in hindsight, I think I needed to go through that to understand who I didn't want to work with and who I really loved to work with. But it was emotionally draining. Also, because I have workshops done Academy and I coach clients, I have 4 actual buckets to my business. So I only coach up to 10 people. So I can really, truly be there. So you also have to think about what feels good for you. So you have your self-care as well. Bottom line, with individual coaching, you're probably going to make about $24,000 maybe in the first year just for the coaching side of it, and then maybe up to $36,000 in the second year. But I also like to check in on past clients. So, when you follow up with them, be specific with questions about how things are going with something that was a big problem when you were coaching them. And you don't want to just go in and say like, hey, do you want some more sessions? Do you want a follow-up session? Like, lead on with that relationship. And then I like to just schedule like, hey, let's just check in for a free 15 minutes. Like, let's check in. How are you doing? Keep them on track. Sometimes what I like to do too is when they have their sessions, I'll say, and I'm going to give you a freebie that's going to be about 5 weeks later. And we're just going to check in real quick here. And that's another time that you can say, and I have this mini package that is 4 to 6 sessions. And that means you're going to have a session every 6 weeks or once a month, different things like that. Or you can sell it to them on their last session. So you have to use your intuition, because you're going to know your client pretty well at the end to see what's going to work best for them. And always asking them, who else do you know that you think would be interested in coaching, and asking them for that testimonial. So it's constantly thinking about referrals, because it's not really, when we think about just 2 people every month, that's not a lot. But we need to be having those close connections with people. And a lot of that does come from referrals. Another way to meet your goals and the numbers for your health coaching clients, and also when we'll talk about group programs later on, but you need to give some free education, some free wellness workshops. And this could be virtual workshops, also known as a webinar. They can be in-person workshops. But this is how I have found, and again, I did this accidentally, but it grows your list fast. I didn't have the biggest list, but what I had was very high quality. So when you do a workshop, it's almost like you're giving a commercial. So it helps them to build their trust in you, helps them to like you, helps them to get to know you very quickly. So I would suggest a goal of at least 2 free workshops a month, because that's going to really help you to find new people. And you need to get in front of a lot of people. It needs to be consistent so that they can hire you. Now, it has absolutely happened where I'll have, like, especially in person, it's a lot easier, like a little mini health coaching session after a workshop, and then they hire me on the spot. But more likely than not, that you need to continue that relationship, but it's going to go a lot quicker. And then I like to funnel the people in my workshop either to a low-cost group program or my individual coaching program. And some people don't need the individual coaching. Some people can't afford that. Some people need to go to that group. Some people are just going to be only individual because they are so specific on what they need, right? So it's going to be different depending on the people that are in your audience. And in Workshops in Academy, we talk greatly about how to fill the seats with the right type of people. But you may want to also contact organizations and corporations for an additional revenue stream, and also to network more. So a mistake that I see some health coaches make is that they are not charging for some of these extra workshops. And absolutely, you know enough, you are good enough, you can charge for this. Another mistake I see during a workshop is that at the end of every workshop, you need to have a call to action. And so that call to action might just be, hey, the gift for showing up today, the gift for being on live with me today is for a free one-on-one breakthrough session with me. And so you can be offering that. And if you're in person, you have a little sheet that goes around with the times you're available to me. If it's online, you just have a link to your calendar so everyone can do that. And today, everybody who tuned in live, you all have an opportunity to meet with me for free, just to talk about your health coaching business and to see what are these things that works out well for you and how to set some plans together. And that's going to be at lorikampa.biz, B-I-Z, /free session. So it's lorikampa.biz /free session. So, but we need to be consistent with our content wherever we are once we have these people on our list. So, for example, in the Facebook group, the workshop support for wellness entrepreneurs, every week I go live, right? Now, I was just on vacation last week, but every week I go live, and there's consistent free training. So think about what's going to work best for you. Is it going to be to do a Facebook Live once a week? Is it going to be to email once a month? But we need to build that relationship so that they can get to know you. What I love about workshops is I repurpose the heck out of every single one. So, if you have 15 tips, that can be 15 different Facebook Lives, because each tip could be a short live. But when we talk about how many workshops, so maybe you do 2 workshops a month for free. When I first started, I also went to get my yoga certification at the same time I got my health coaching certification. It was a little insane. And the yoga studio I taught at had 2 locations. So I would give the same topic once at each time per month. And then I would do about 2 paid workshops each month. And I started off with like the lower paying places. So that was my library. The highest that they pay is $200. And go ahead, and when I first got my foot in the door, I would say, yeah, this first one I would like to gift to you. I would do an intro rate of free, right? Just getting your foot in the door so they can see the value that you provide. But what's nice is that when you have the wellness workshop at like a library or maybe at your health food store, they market for you. So you're constantly getting new people in. So to the point that you probably will have to have people on a waiting list for your health coaching services. And by the way, when you have a waiting list, still take in, decide how many sessions, take in the money, and then have a start date on the calendar. So it might be, 4 weeks from then, and just have one big session to say, okay, this is, a goal to work on in the next 4 weeks until we can officially start, so that they know it's good, either they have a spot in your service. Now, most health coaches for companies and organizations start off with just $400 for a 1-hour workshop. Again, this is low. So I'm just saying, when you just start out, the goal would be 2 of those a month. So that would be $800 a month. You're also going to be networking. So if you do 2 of those a month, that's almost $10,000. Now, if you do a paid workshop every week, that's almost $21,000, right? So I'm still going to do the health food store for $200 because they're going to get me some new people as well. So every job you take is going to be different. When you work a convention, you're going to work all day doing the same breakout, but you're going to get paid, $1,200, $1,500 just for that one day, right? So it's going to vary on what you're not going to get the same amount of money every single week. One week you might make 800, the next 200, the next 1,400, right? But again, looking at the long term. So be clear about your goals and then how you're going to get there. So just like when we health coach, a client might say, yeah, I'm going to exercise more. Well, that's not a goal, right? It's not clear, it's not specific, it's not defined. So maybe they would say, okay, I'm going to go on the treadmill for 30 minutes before work on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I am going to go to Hatha Yoga on Tuesdays and Thursdays at this time and at this studio. And every weekend, I'm going to do a family hike. Now, that is something that we can put on the calendar, schedule. The decision is already made about what you're going to do. So if you have a goal of doing more workshops, you need to create a system. So for example, and I talk about this in extensive detail in Workshops Done Academy, but you might think about your system to get more workshops that are paid is how many venues and potential new clients you can get, right? So brainstorm the heck out of a list of thinking every partnership that you could do a webinar with, that you both can do a webinar and you both put it out to your people. Maybe you're talking to your church, maybe you're talking to your park and rec, talking to your old workplace, right? There's so many different places that you can go to for workshops. So maybe every single Tuesday for 1 hour, you are going to contact these places and you're going to have this list to keep working off of, and you just know that this is my system in place to get me there. So does this make sense to everybody? Just give me a yes in the comments. Let me know what you are thinking. So the third department, so we have the one-on-one coaching, that's one department. Second department is the wellness workshops, so webinars. And then the third one is to have a small group program. Because again, not everybody is going to need that one-on-one service. So I need you all to hear this. Keep this simple, and you do not even have to plan a group before you sell it, okay? So when you create your first group program, gain clarity on the idea of your group. So think about what is the problem that you're going to help them solve. Whenever you're selling anything, it's never about you. It's always about what is the result that you can get for them, right? So be clear in your offer about who you want to be in this group, and then just put it out there on your personal Facebook page. Talk to some of your friends, validate your idea. and ask them and say, hey, I'm going to be doing this intro rate, or I'm going to be doing this beta group, I'm going to be doing this founder cell, whatever you want to call it, so that they get it at a reduced rate, and then you actually plan it at the same time. So that way you're not planning this whole thing and then only 2 people show up. So my first group I did January of 2016, and I put out around Christmas time, which was a really good time when people are eating crappy, to say, hey, I'm just thinking about running this Whole Foods cleanse. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. If you are, I'm going to create it, and we're going to have so much fun with resetting our eating habits, kicking the sugar, all of that. And I had 28 comments on that Facebook post. And I then was like, okay, this is going to happen, right? So I gave them all a discount because they were my beta test group. But that group, it was only $77 a person. So I think I had about 50 people in that group. But if you can have a group program that's low cost, something that's under $300 to $400, and do it 3 to 4 times a year, you should be able to get between $7,000 to $10,000 more. Obviously, the higher the ticket, the less people that you might have in it. So I do like when I first started this lower cost, because then some of these people, not many, but some, did go over to one-on-one coaching. But again, it's all about, when you're talking to your friends about a group program, just to say, do you know anybody that's interested? Again, you're not putting them on anything that's awkward, but hey, do you want to sign up? But after they do sign up, you'll let them know, like, this is a community event. So invite your friends. I have, you can say, like, I have my first workshop. Well, I should repeat. What I want to hear you say, what I want to celebrate with you, is for you to say to me, Lori, I have my first workshop. I just signed my first client. I mean, those are the kind of results that I love celebrating with health coaches, to design your 12-month plan so that you can quickly earn money to leave your day job. For me, I felt I didn't know that I was doing it correctly by giving workshops. I think I could have done things a lot quicker if I would have known where I was going. I didn't really have a plan of exactly where I was going to go. But think about hard work. Maybe it's just 1 to 2 hours a day. Do you need to communicate with your employer about a plan, reducing your hours? Think about the things that are going to make you money. I didn't have a website until years later. There are many things that you don't need to have. So yes, you need to have, I highly suggest a Facebook group. I highly suggest to do some kind of like weekly email or monthly email, but you don't have to have everything figured out at first. So just to recap everything, when you first start, maybe you're going to get 2 new clients a month for health coaching. And if you're just starting out, maybe that's $2,000 a month. So it'd be about $24,000. Maybe for workshops, you're going to get about $10,000. And then in your group, maybe about, I'm just going to go low, like like $8,000. So that's going to be a little over $41,000 for the first year. Now, the second year, you're going to probably be raising your health coaching rates. And that's a nice thing about when you have people asking you to coach them, is that you know that you're in demand, so that you can go a little higher on your rates. And unfortunately, sometimes it just won't work out for people. But if they're serious, that's not a lot of money to help them solve a huge health problem in their life. So if it's $3,000 a month that you're earning by 2 clients, that's $36,000 a year just for the one-on-one health coaching. And then if you do a paid workshop, still maybe just at like $400 for a year, that's going to be about $21,000 a year. And then hopefully your group program is going to get a lot better. Maybe it's $15,000. So then you'd be making like $70,000 to $75,000 a year, right? And then you can continue to build on that. So I think the main thing is to be disciplined, to be focused, determined to achieve your goals. I see so many health coaches continue on with training on, like I would love to take a class on, emotional eating and different things like that. But I had to focus on that, it's me and I support my 2 daughters, and I need to think about how to earn the money, but also how to have the best impact. So just treat your business like a real organization. You have these 3 different departments, but they all feed into each other. Mark your calendar, block the time to do the batch work that really matters, and focus on one way to be really consistent with your promotions, right? We need to stay in our lane. Don't say yes to something else if it means you're saying no to your work, right? So think about everything you do. Is this going to make a difference 5 years from now? If you can think like today, I'm going to do this one thing. I'm going to make an e-brochure that lists my bio and the workshops I offer. You're going to feel like a winner at the end of the day. But if you have like a list of 20 things and you do a little bit of each one, it doesn't feel very nice, right? So small actions every day lead up to massive results. So yesterday I was on a hike, someplace that I haven't been before, but part of the hike was extremely steep. And all I thought I couldn't go back down. And I thought, okay, I'm going to look up ahead. I still can't see the top of where I'm going. I just need to find the next best thing I need to do. Okay, so I was grabbing tree roots, making sure that they were good for me to hang on to, and pulling myself up that way. But if I was whenever I'd look all the way up and go, oh my gosh, I have so far to go and I don't know how I'm going to do it, I felt stressed. And when I just looked at the next best thing I could do, I felt empowered, I felt strong, and that's how it is, I think, in business. Now, the funny thing, when I got up part way, I looked over, and about 8 feet, there was a very nice trail that I could have gone up, but I didn't know the way. I've never been there before. And so sometimes if you have, a guide, a coach, a mentor showing you the way, it can be easier, right? We can feel more confident about doing it because somebody else has been there before. But whatever you do, just resolve to do, one thing every day that will move you towards your goals of getting new clients, building these relationships, giving workshops. So do you need to schedule more breakthrough sessions to move towards your goals? Do you need to call more partnerships for workshops? So write down, what's one thing you can do this week? What's 2 things that you can do this week? Whatever it is. Now, every single Monday in the Facebook group Workshop Support for Wellness Entrepreneurs, every single Monday, there is a post that I want you to put your goals on. This is my goal for the week. Maybe it's one thing, maybe it's 2 things for the entire week. And then on Friday, we share your wins in the group. And so I want you to come back there and say, this is what I did. I created X, Y, and Z. I put out the feelers for this group program, and I have 20 people who responded, right? So think about what's the next best thing for you to figure out. There's no excuses. We all just have this one life. It's our journey. It's our responsibility to take action for that. If you would like more support, if you want to see what it's like to work with me as a business coach, or if you want to hear more about Workshops Done Academy, come to the website lorikampa.biz/free session, and you can schedule your free 30-minute breakthrough session with me where we can figure out what is your next best step. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, and have a wonderful and productive day. Bye-bye, everybody.